we're back at the flower room, or at least my disembodied hands. We have a really busy week coming up, and I'm working on some weddings, and I thought you might want to sit in with me while I make this really sweet baby's breath flower crown for one of the flower girls for this weekend. So I have my baby's breath, obviously, and that is going to be basically the whole crown. We're not using any greenery and we're not using anything else. It's just going to be the baby's breath. So the first thing that I'm doing is just cutting up a bunch of pieces so that I'm not trying to cut them up one at a time while I make this crown. I'll try to cut up as much as I think I'll need, but not more, because one of the things that I've learned over the years as a florist is you can cut more pieces, but it's really, really hard to put them back together if you take them all apart and then you decide you don't need that many. So in order to make it so that I don't end up with a bunch of tiny bits that I just can't use for anything else, I will be being a little bit short of how much I think I'm actually going to use for this crown. So how have you guys been? It has been a couple of weeks since I've been on any of the social media platforms. It's just been super duper busy here, and I just haven't felt like it. Also, I broke the stand for my phone, so if you've got ADHD, one small little thing can make it seem insurmountable to do anything else, and that's where I've kind of been. So, love you guys. Sorry I haven't been around. I'm just back as a pair of disembodied hands to do a little bit of flower stuff with you today. I think this is basically going to be where I'm going to start with this. I'll move what I'm not using off to the side, and then I have some spool wire. So this is a 24 gauge spool wire. The wire that I use is painted with just a green paint so that it doesn't rust. So that is what makes florist wire different from just any other wire, is that it's coated so that it doesn't rust. Nobody wants their flower girl to have rust in their hair. So all I've done here is I have taken a few little pieces and made my first little cluster of flowers, and I'm going to use the spool wire to tightly, but not too tightly, wind those together. As I go along, I'm just going to keep adding more pieces and more pieces, and making sure that I make this tight enough that this is not going to fall apart, but not so tight that I Hulk smash it and break it into pieces, because then I'll have to start over and this video will be really, really long. See, it's already starting to come together. One of the other things that'll be really important about this is making sure at the end that there are no pieces of wire that are sticking out. I also am not going to be a very popular florist if I peel a bunch of toddlers with the wire from their flower girl crowns, so I'm going to try my best not to do that. Alright. I'm trying to see if I can do this in 10 minutes or less. I've got my timer going here. So we've got about 6 minutes left on our timer. I used a lot of the time cutting up pieces. And this is not going to be perfect, and it shouldn't be. This is supposed to look a little bit organic. The person who ordered this does not want the perfect lollipop clouds of baby's breath. They really want something that is going to have a little bit more texture and interest to it. So I'm not too worried about if some places are just slightly thinner than others. As long as it looks overall fairly uniform, that's all we're really going for. How do you like the new light setup? It only took me a week after it came into the store to take it out of the box and try it. So you can see that's coming along very well. I may need to cut a few more pieces, but that is okay because we kind of expected that. So other than my absence, has anything else been bothering you in your lives recently? World's a little bit weird, but everything's okay. I've just been sitting here doing my florist thing and trying to not be involved with the rest of the world for a little while. This is the second round of baby's breath for this wedding. The first round came in and it just wasn't very good. I had wanted something that had slightly smaller flowers, and I had it, but it was all brown, and that was just not really the color we were going for. So I got that all replaced. This is why we go with a professional florist when it's important, and not buy from an online service or something. I mean, if you're not too picky and you're really open to the fact that you may have to make last minute adjustments, absolutely do whatever works best for you. I would never shame anyone for going with what would be a less expensive route. You know, we all have our budgets and things like that. I don't mean to shame anybody, but if it's super important and you just can't have something that is not quite what you wanted, just don't leave that up to chance. Definitely call and speak to a real honest-to-goodness florist, whether it be an event designer or like we are, where we are, it's called a full-service florist. So we take people from in off the street and allow them to buy flowers from us. It doesn't have to just be events. I actually think that's going to be pretty good. So I'm going to overlap that just a little bit, and then I'm going to give it another twist. Look at that, I've still got 3 minutes left. I keep telling people that I'm the fastest florist that I know, because I'm not hurrying right now, and nobody believes me because I don't look like I move very fast. I don't know, what do you think? I mean, I suppose the fastest florist I know is fairly subjective because I gotta know the other ones. But as far as I know, I am the overall fastest. I'm sure that there are faster florists out there. I just don't know of any of them. If they want to be my friend, they should definitely connect with me. Anyway, that's gonna be lovely for our little flower girl. That's all she wrote. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you like my new setup. I promise I'm going to eventually wash my table. It may not be anytime in the near future, but it'll happen eventually. Have a good rest of your week, guys. Bye.